And Kellie Leitch joins me now on our set. Kellie Leitch, good to see you again.
Great to be here.
Thanks for being here. It's over now pretty much, but the counting.
And a few more ballots to come in, but you're right,
thing,
the counting is about to happen. And for me, this has been a long campaign, but an amazing experience and an amazing campaign.
Let's talk a little bit about where we are now in the process. Where do you think you will be when we see the first set of results tomorrow?
Well, look, we had a great campaign, and we had by far the most volunteers out there on the hustings, not only recruiting people initially to the party, but then also obviously getting our vote out. So I think we'll have a really good standing tomorrow. I don't know where I'll be on the roster, but I know I'm going to be in the top number of candidates because we've had some outstanding, hardworking volunteers making sure. Even just a few minutes ago, I was told another guy dropped out 35 ballots for us, and another 400 this morning. So these are good numbers, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Where do you see your path to victory? I mean, how do you think when the votes are counted, Kellie Leitch ends up at the top of the pack? What's that process look like?
Oh, look, for myself, we've been out talking about some issues that are extremely important to Canadians. Whether that be about Canadian values and our Canadian identity as a people, or whether that be about how we approach immigration as a country. And these issues are top of mind for Canadians, and that path to victory for me has been making sure Canadians, not just Conservatives, but people across the country engage in our party and are motivated to vote. And we know that our folks have been motivated to vote. They care about this issue. They care about our country. And they're stepping forward to make sure their ballots are cast.
Let's talk about the screening of immigrants policy that you had. Do you think that has helped grow the party, or are you concerned that it's shrinking the party? Deepak Oberoi says that he's looked at the party lists and says there's 10% of new Canadians on that party list, he says, which is a big drop from where the Conservatives were in 2011. And he says part of it has been the messaging in the campaign. Do you share that?
Not at all. I can tell you, whether it be yesterday while I was phoning through some ridings here in Toronto and also in Montreal, where literally the number of individuals that are Tamils or Chinese Canadians, individuals that are obviously new Canadians were on the roster, or whether it's been by traveling across the country. I can tell you that people of all walks of life have become part of this party, and I think that's something the party should be very proud of. You know, our membership numbers are over 259,000, and I think that's a testament to all the candidates.
You took a lot of heat for the policy. Do you believe, looking at it now as we come to the end of the campaign, it was a successful strategy to talk about this issue and to stay with it even though it became so controversial?
Absolutely. You know, across the country, from coast to coast to coast, for more than a year now, I've been hearing from Canadians about how they care about our Canadian identity and they care about our shared values, and that they want the individuals coming to our nation to share those. And so what I've been talking about, quite frankly, has been pretty common sense, having face-to-face interviews with each immigrant and refugee coming to Canada. Currently, that does not occur. Only about 1 in 10 receive those interviews. I think it's pretty common sense for each person to have one of those interviews. And what I've also said is that they should be accepting our Canadian values.
Okay, do you believe Max Bernier is the front runner? And could you work in a party that, if he ends up winning the leadership, are you okay with that?
Look, I will work with whoever becomes the leader. Obviously, I'm hopeful from our strong team that I will be that person chosen tomorrow. But I've been a member of this party since I was a child. And this is a team sport, and I will be there to support whoever is the leader of the party, because that's what you do. You step forward, we act as a united party, and that's what I will be doing. With any new leader. As I say, I'm hopeful that that new leader will be myself, but if it's someone else, I will be there doing my part.
Let's finish. Let's talk about perceptions of leadership. You applauded Donald Trump's victory in the United States, not necessarily Donald Trump, but
yes, I understand.
Yeah, you attacked the elites and insiders in Canada as Trump did in the U.S. And some people have accused you of using Trump-style politics during the campaign.
Right.
So now that you had some time to see Donald Trump leadership in action, are you a fan of his leadership style?
Well, for me, what I've been talking about, and this is what I talked about the day that he became the president, is that there is a disconnect between the elites in our country and the average guy and gal on the street. And I want the average guy and gal, whether they're in Collingwood or Abbotsford, St. John's, Newfoundland, or Inuvik, to know that if they want a voice, I will be their voice in Ottawa. And for me, that's extremely important. You know, obviously, the new administration is making choices in the United States for themselves, and I look forward to working with them when I'm Prime Minister of this country to make sure Canadians come first.
Okay. If you become Prime Minister, would you go back to a telephone line for people to report barbaric cultural practices?
Well, for myself, the policy issue around that, which was that young girls should not be forced into marriages, I think is sound. I think all Canadians agree with it. I don't think there's a single Canadian out there, I hope there's not a single Canadian out there that believes a young girl should be forced into a marriage. And if a young girl or young boy finds themselves in peril, and that we need to sensitize individuals to know when they are in harm's way, I want to make sure that they know that there is someone out there at the end of the line that will make sure that they're taken out of that terrible circumstance.
Okay, that's the issue you were
Correct.
looking to deal with.
Absolutely.
The policy was going to be this phone line where people could report barbaric cultural practices. Would you reintroduce that concept of a phone line if you were Prime Minister of Canada?
I think we'll need to evaluate where we are as a nation, but the fact of the matter is that many years ago,
so you're not saying no. Was it a bad idea?
Let me finish. Many years ago, young boys were reaching out to police officers that they were being molested by priests, and no one was listening. And those little boys were put in harm's way. I want every child in this country to know that when I am leader of this country, we will protect them. And I will do whatever I need to do to make sure that they are protected and that they know precisely where to go to get the help they need. And that the person at the end of the line will hear them and hear their concerns and then be able to act to make sure they're protected.
So we could have a phone line again if you're Prime Minister.
You can put words in my mouth, but we'll be doing we'll be doing a number of things to make sure from under my leadership, we'll be doing a number of things to make sure that children in this country are always taken out of those harmful situations and always protected.
All right, Kellie Leitch, good to talk to you. And
Thank you very much.
Good luck this weekend.
It's going to be great. I'm excited.
All right, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
Okay.